Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Business Stories. And you know me, you know the voice, Dr. LL, Loralyn Mears here as your host. And every week we bring you fantastic guests looking at all different kinds of aspects of entrepreneurship. And as we all know, as entrepreneurs, we come in many, many different flavors and varieties and offer a multitude of services and options. So with us today, we've got Jennifer Johnson, who's got a one-two punch with her luxury retail resale store, which is called True Fashionistas down in Florida, and the combination of life coaching as the confident entrepreneur. So we've got two things to dig into today. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the show.
Hello, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Now, we always like to paint the visual for our listeners that are listening in through their car on their commutes or whatnot. And so you're in the middle of your store right now. You want to give folks a little description, a little color and context about what they should be looking at.
Sure. Well, True Fashionistas is the largest lifestyle resale store in Florida. What that means is we have furniture and home decor, and we also have clothing and accessories for men and women, like handbags and shoes and jewelry and all those kinds of things. Everything from Chanel, Gucci, and Prada to Lily Pulitzer and Lululemon. And it's all in one store. And it's massive. It takes you at least 2 hours to get through the store. And it's like Christmas every day here, really.
Ooh, fantastic and fun. Of course, I'm going to have to ask. So, what is the most popular item that folks either deliver as an intake and or most popular item that they walk out of the store with?
Sure. Well, usually I would say the most popular item, there's really the top three that they walk out the store with. It would be small home decor, like especially around holiday time, it's a lot of gifty things. And then dresses, shoes, and bags. Those are the top things that people leave here with. As far as the top things that are dropped off, pants. Pants are like the number one thing that are dropped off. And that's the thing that we are the most discerning on when we choose what to take. Just because if you think of it, pants have to fit the inseam, the outseam, the rise, the waist, all of those things. Whereas a dress, it's easy.
Indeed, we've got a little bit more wiggle room on the
We
dresses. And I
do.
know I've got a whole rack of beautiful designer wool trousers
Hmm.
that I'm not wearing this winter because I've gained some weight in some places. And so, and they were tailored to fit me. So,
Right,
yeah, not happening. I can see why people want to
right.
surrender their pants.
We get it all the time. We're like, there's a lot of pantless people running around.
It's because we've all shifted to dresses. I mean, that's
Right,
the whole thing, right? They're way more comfortable
exactly.
and all that. Okay,
They
good
are.
times and fun with that. What I like about the one-two punch that you offer being the combination of
Mhm.
looking good and feeling confident, I really think that the two go hand in hand. And I see too many entrepreneurs, either, especially on the female side, they're frump a dump, really
Mhm.
just not looking their best and not
Right.
polished. Or on the male side, yeah, great looking wrinkled cargo pants. And that's a really cool t shirt from 10 years ago. But really, right? Like, can you maybe just step it up a bit? You
Right.
might feel better. Talk to us about that connection and what you see.
Sure. I mean, the number one thing is I've always heard dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. And if everybody goes into whether they're looking for a job or they're looking for a promotion in their current job, if you have that mindset, go with it. Make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. I have made the mistake of, okay, I'm going to go into work today and I'm not going to wear my best because I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. Well, who, people end up walking in and I'm like, oh, you don't want to apologize for the way you look. So come in every day dressed for the job that you want, not the job that you have.
I have always followed that advice. And it's just, I feel better when I make a bit
Mhm.
of an effort. Now,
Right.
there are down days, like I had one of those disastrous nights last night, didn't sleep a wink. So
Hmm.
maybe not as pulled together, but there
Right.
has to be effort still applied, right? And
Right.
the outcome may not be as good as we wanted, but it's not like I wake up and go, I'm not going to try today.
Right, exactly. And I mean, people get boxed into certain ideals as well, where they're like, "Oh, well, my shoes have to match my belt, have to match my handbag, have to." there's no have do's in fashion anymore. Really, it's anything goes. So just wear what you like, what you feel comfortable in. The outfit should not walk into the room before you. Let's put it that way. You have to wear you what you wear has to portray your confidence and again, not wear you.
I Great advice there. Although, like I said, there's things that I want to be able to challenge. I saw this morning just online preparing for our show,
Hmm?
and I looked and it said, "Oh, women over 50 shouldn't wear stacked bangles anymore." And I'm thinking, get the hell out of
Eh,
here. Like I have embraced my crazy eccentric old lady phase. Like I remember Aris Apfel, right? She had
yes.
best collection of
Mhm.
costume jewelry, and she didn't wear one, two bangles. She wore
Right.
10, 12 on each arm at the
Yep,
same time
exactly.
with
Mhm.
necklaces. Like, why not?
Right. And that's what I'm saying is don't listen to, there's going to, they sell magazines for a reason, right? Because they want to keep selling us something else. Like, oh, now this has changes. You know what? Don't go with what makes you feel comfortable. If we're stuck with just buying the fads, like when I talk to people about how to put their wardrobe together to make sure that it's they're getting the biggest bang for their buck, especially I say, you can find those staples that are really, really nice and are going to wash and wear well, and then pair it with fads. So going back to the bangle example, that's the same kind of thing, but in just in a different context of wear what feels comfortable for you. Because at the end of the day, that you're wearing it for you. You're not wearing it for anyone else.
That's right. Now, I've always embraced the dress high low. Some things I have are expensive, some things, are fast fashion,
Right.
do try to minimize some of that, just given environmental and all of
Right.
this. Some things are gold plated. Shh,
Oh
right?
no.
I know. Now I've spilled, I spilled the tea. What are we going to do here? Right. And what do you say to that?
Totally fine. Again, it goes back to what makes you feel comfortable. Now, just coming from my world, we do try to minimize fast fashion. In fact, we don't accept fast fashion here at my store. Um, but we're that answer to fast fashion. We're
Yes.
the store that you would come to rather than, going on your computer. And I'm not going to name any names of fast fashion companies, but you know, resale is the answer to that. And I'm all for pairing, high end with more of a mid-market piece all day long. Because again, when you're dealing with something high end, you typically don't want to spend the kind of money on a fad that's not going to be popular next year.
No, exactly. And I believe we should all be following the principles of reduce,
Hmm.
reuse, then recycle,
Right.
right? I mean, like people,
Exactly.
I think, kind of get the order wrong, and that applies to fashion in that
Right.
too. And try
Hmm.
to
It
find
does.
it. In the area that I am in, I don't see a lot of great consignment or other opportunities for resale. I'm thinking, ooh, whereabouts in Florida are you? So my next trip down south.
We're in Naples. Come see us. Really far south.
There you go. No, that's fabulous. All right, so let's talk about some of the myths that
Mhm.
people have with respect to fashion. Then I want to get into some of the myths with respect to business operations.
Sure.
So first, talk to us about fashion. You've dispelled a few here already and how we should just dress to feel comfortable, but what other myths do you want to dispel, Jennifer?
Well, that's definitely the first one. The other one I always hear, oh my gosh, it's after Labor Day. I can't wear white. Or I'm older, so I can't wear color, or I'm older and that means I have to wear color. Where are people coming up with these things? Or I can't wear black and navy, or I can't wear black and brown together. Like I can't mix my metals. You can do any of that. And I think it fashion has evolved over time to this anything goes kind of mentality, going back to what makes you comfortable. So if you have any doubt in your mind about what you're wearing, then don't wear it because you're going to come across unsure. You may not think so, but I guarantee that if you are in a crowd talking to people, you're not going to be as outgoing if you're unsure about your outfit or you're uncomfortable with it. So those would be kind of the fashion myths I would dispel.
Oh, absolutely. On that last point that you just said, because fashion is really about self-expression, right?
Hmm.
How we
Right.
want to, whatever we want to wear, how we want to do it, all of it, but the whole
Yeah.
package. And I know I've been that person in the room where I thought, ooh, geez, maybe this like skirt is a little tight now, whatever. And then I want to shrink into the corner and say, don't look
Right.
at, my goodness, why did I wear this today? I should have known better, or,
Right.
whatever else, right? You just
Hmm.
you don't feel your best,
Right.
and it's
You
hard to
don't.
be your best.
Right. I agree. Very much so.
So let's flip this into now as a business owner. A lot of people think, great, yeah, just show up. People bring their luxury goods and everything all the time. Just drop them off and say, hey, have at it. And then boom, the business runs
Right.
itself, right? Talk to us about that experience.
Oh my goodness. If I had a quarter for everyone who's talked to me about, and I want to say romanticized being a business owner because that's really what it is. People romanticize about it. They're like, oh gosh, if I could own a business, I could, go to the Bahamas for a week and yes, at
One
some
week,
point,
five,
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 right?
Jennifer.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. So, yes, eventually you will get it, hopefully, to a point that you can do that. But nobody seems to pay attention to the hard work, the sweat, the blood, the tears that go into it before, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to run a business. But you know what? I would never want it any other way. It is so fulfilling all the way around. And not just because I get to make my hours or get to call the shots or any of those things. It's about the people that you surround yourself with, whether they're your customers or they're your team members. It creates this community for you. I know it has for me, and it's hard work, but well worth it. And I don't want to minimize the hard work because I know what it takes. We've been in business now for 15 years, and I've been a small business owner, an entrepreneur for over 25. And so I built other businesses and taken to them to the point where I've sold them. But again, it's a lot of work. And when they say that, I don't remember what the statistic is now, so many businesses fail within the first year, 5 years, so on and so forth. I can see why, because people go into this with a false pretense that it's all going to be wine and roses. And it's not. There needs to be a dose of reality to it as well.
And I think the older we get as entrepreneurs, the more likely we're already conditioned for that level of hard work and a
Mhm.
delta, right? A difference
Right.
between the day one when I start and day whatever when I'm
Hmm.
successful, defining success on our own
Right.
terms. The younger folks that I've mentored think it is boom, let's go, overnight viral success, woo
Right.
hoo hoo, millions, and
Mhm.
I'm all set and rolling in it. But it's not.
It's not, and you know what? It's very much like when you see that artist on the radio and you're like, "Oh my gosh, they came out of nowhere. They just dropped into the universe." No, I liken it to a duck paddling underwater. They have been doing this, paddling their little feet under the water for a very long time, sometimes for over a decade. And all we see is that end result. We see the success. We don't see all the stuff underneath of it because until recently, and still, people don't want to talk about, oh my gosh, I failed at this, or oh my gosh, I really stink at doing this. People want to just have people see the whole social media white picket fence.
Mhm.
And if we just allowed other people to see what it was really like, we're doing them a disservice by not showing them what it's really like. And that's one of the biggest things. I want to be real with people. I love what I do and I love being an entrepreneur, but it comes with sacrifices and it comes with a lot of hard work.
And well said. I'm always talking about that everybody sees that curated micro
Mm,
slice of our
that's great.
lives,
Curated.
right?
Exactly.
Because it is, that's what it is.
Mhm.
Right? Oh, you're not
Right.
going to see that. Ooh, I look bad. That's bad lighting. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
I got bad bags under my eyes. Like I just go for it. Like, okay, I'm here. I'm
I
not.
just show up. And that's half the battle. Just show up
Yeah.
and be who you are and stop pretending. I'm not one to hide my feelings. I'm not one to shove stuff underneath the carpet. I don't want to talk about it. I am an open book. I can't hide my emotions. I can't hide any of that because why? It's too hard to do that. It's way easier to be real.
Yes, amen to that, right? Because it's
Yeah.
what it's all about. And this is one of the reasons why I have this podcast is to shine the light on some of the backstory of what's
Mhm.
happening. People don't hear it, what's going on in the background. And you talk about
Right.
that overnight success. I always bring up, I know I'm a broken record, but my two favorite examples that I think of Eric Yoon, the CEO of Zoom. And he was
Hmm.
interviewed on CNN right at the start of the pandemic. And he was asked, I believe it was Anderson Cooper, who said, "What does it feel like to be an overnight success?" And he cursed and he said, "Longest bleep, bleep decade of my life,"
Hmm.
right? Overnight success. And on those days where I'm like, oh God, I'm not feeling, I've got to dig in, I
Hmm.
watched Chapel Roan's beautiful
Hmm.
little video where she's 15 years old. She's singing Pink Pony Club to two pigeons and to two old people on a park bench, feeding the pigeons. She's on her
Hmm.
little keyboard. No one's listening. No one cares. And then they show a decade later, and she's
Hmm.
holding her microphone, and there's 170,000 Lollapalooza fans
Yeah.
singing her lyrics,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
Overnight success.
That's it. Exactly right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's bingo, bingo. Now, let's flip and talk to the other side. So, the confident entrepreneur. So, we've talked
Mhm.
about fashionista and the importance of really reducing, I guess, our environmental footprint and then
Mhm.
just enjoying luxury
Right.
items that other people they're no longer serving, right? So, we get to have a
Hmm.
chance at something else. But they always say one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love that. I wish we had more flea markets and consignment shops and things like that to shop from. That's why I love eBay. I get a lot of
Right.
stuff yeah,
Yes.
online for that. But anyway, let's talk about the confident entrepreneur and
Hmm.
what that part of your business is all about and how you balance the duality of really
Sure.
two different businesses.
Well, I have been asked by so many people for so long, why don't you coach people on being a business owner? And I'm like, because I don't have anything to tell anyone. That's what I was telling myself this whole time for a very long time. 3, 4 years ago, I went, why am I not doing this? And I think we all reach a point where we're confident. Okay.
Mhm.
We're confident in what we've done, what we've created, where we're at in the world to go, you know what? Now I think I can teach other people. And that's really what it was. One day the light bulb went on and I went, I should have been listening to this a long time ago. But you know what? It wasn't time for me then. The time for me was when I stepped into it. And that I believe that there is always things happen for you. They don't happen to you. They happen on a timeline that they're supposed to. So I stepped into this position of I started out with a podcast, and I'm going to say it started out really messy. I thought I wanted to be Martha Stewart. I really did. I'm like, I'm going to be like Martha Stewart. So my podcast, the first season, I'm just going into the fifth season, but I recorded the first whole season was all over the place. It was like fashion and then home and then real estate, all these things. And then the second season, I really honed in on, no, I'm all about small business. That's what I am. And so I started honing in on that. So it all started with the podcast. Then from the podcast, it went to I can do courses for people. So I started creating courses based on certain different things. Like my big one is core values. I speak a lot. I do a lot of speaking on stages across the US. I speak a lot on core values. Another, like a workshop that I do for people, is how to get noticed by the media. And that's a really big one. It's a PR workshop. And so I got into doing that. And then from that, I started getting people asking me to coach them. And so I coach the gamut from, PR and marketing to business systems. Like, how do I set up a system? How do I employee handbooks? Lots of things that small business owners, as we wear many hats.
Right.
And you just have to have somebody from the outside who can come in and look at your business and see it from a different set of eyes. So I added that to what I do. And then I added the professional speaking part of that as well, where I travel around doing keynotes and workshops and things like that.
I want to roll it back a bit to what you said, that you just get to that point. You said that the light bulb goes off. Do you think it goes beyond just that level of readiness that tied into it is, you know what? I'm ready to just own my mistakes and put them out there because I have no arfs left to give. And this,
Right.
right? Do you think it's some of both?
There is probably some of both of that. I've never really been one to hide my mistakes. I've always been like, oh well, I blanked up there. Oh well, you know, I guess I'm learning something from it. It's only a mistake if you didn't learn from it. And so I
Or
guess
repeat
there's
it,
some of that. What's that?
or repeat it
Or
to
repeat
get
it.
a certain
Exactly,
drift,
exactly,
right? Yes.
exactly. And so I think it's part of both. And I wanted to try to teach other people how to not, and I don't want to say fail because I didn't fail, but I guess make those mistakes because sometimes you do need to learn those on your own and that's okay. But if I can give them some wisdom or some advice or some guidance on how to do things maybe differently than what they're doing, because I wish I would have had that for myself going through everything that I've gone through as a business owner. And I didn't. I didn't have the money, or I didn't have the time, or I didn't have, right? There's always I don't have, or I can't. Well, why can't you?
Mhm.
I actually hired a business coach like 3 years ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't spend that money. Oh my gosh. And I did. And it made me a better business owner, a better employer, a better, entrepreneur, better person for doing it. So I think that's a limitation that we put on ourselves because we just go, I can't, I don't have, just because you think that, what else can you get rid of to add that? Because why can you not?
Oh, yes, exactly. And then, in fessing up, I mortgaged my home and dug into my retirement to
Yeah.
build a platform, a tech platform that not too many people used, right? And
Yeah.
even though all the research, everything was there, A/B tested it, market
Mhm.
research, blah
Right.
blah. Yes, yeah. No, kids didn't want soft
Yeah.
skills. Like, no, we're good. We
Right.
don't need it.
Listen, if we were having a conversation of all the things that I tried that did not work, we would be here all day. I mean, I put a lot of them in my book, which came out a year ago, but there's so many things as entrepreneurs that we try, but again, they're learning experiments. I mean, how
And
many tries did it take for Edison to make the light bulb, right?
thousands,
Like,
I
oh my
think,
God.
yeah.
So,
And that's just it. Like you said earlier, just show up, right?
mhm.
And congratulations on going into your next season of your podcast
Thank
because
you.
fewer than 10% of podcasts make it past 10 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I know. This is season 6 for us too.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, yeah,
Congratulations.
you're right. It's
That's
a few hundred
wonderful.
later. This
Right.
is what it takes. Right. Now we're like, woo,
Exactly.
woo, woo, woo. We just
Hmm.
see that little ranking. We're up there.
Right.
It's good. It's exciting.
Yes.
As we wrap up the show, Jennifer, what's that last bit of advice, sage wisdom, anything that you want to share with our audience?
My number one takeaway in my life and every single person I talk to is, and I've already mentioned it on the show, is if you approach life with why, what can I learn from this? Okay. What can I learn from this situation, whether it's good or bad? Is this is happening for me. It's not happening to me. If you reframe that and you can go, think about it. What is here to learn in this situation that I'm in a situation right now where I'm inundated with a lot of different things coming at me and I'm trying to pull myself out of it and sit back and go, stop. What's the lesson? What lesson are you trying to teach me? And work through it. Because if I do that, I'm going to come out on the other side of this smarter. I'm going to have more wisdom. I'm going to have more tools in my toolbox. So be still in the moment And I'm preaching to the choir. I should be listening to my own advice right now. But right, you have to, there's an interesting thing though. Also, I was just reading in a book and I don't remember the name of it. If you say to yourself, okay, you can't just say, hey, you need to step outside of it and look at what's happening and try to find the lesson. You have to step back and you put your name in. What I mean by that is you're going to step back and go, Jennifer, what are you, what's happening right now? What are you supposed to learn from that? They've done studies to show that if you say your name instead of just say, hey, pull your bootstraps up and figure it out. If you step back and you say, Jennifer, say your name, stop and figure out what the lesson is here. You are going to, the whole thing about that is we give advice to people, but we don't take our own advice.
Of
So
course.
by saying your name, you're putting it out there as though you're talking to someone else, and it's going to help you listen to your own advice, if that
I
makes sense.
Well, it does. And I thought it was maybe along the lines of because you're assigning ownership to it, right? And so by saying your name, like, oh, you call yourself to attention and say, okay, I
True.
own this now, right? There's some of
And
that.
there's part of that, I'm sure, to it as well. But I couldn't believe when I was reading this book, and it was called Chatter.
Mm.
Chatter. Ethan Kross is his name, Kross. Great book. And he talks about that concept. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool. So that's my advice.
That's awesome. Now, where can we find you? The fashionista, the confident
Sure.
entrepreneur.
So True Fashionistas, the website is truefashionistas.com. And on Facebook and Instagram, you can find that at True Resale. And then for my personal brand, The Confident Entrepreneur, jenniferannjohnson.com is the website. The Confident Entrepreneur is on Apple and everywhere you get your podcasts. And then you can find my book, Grace and Grit, Becoming the Confident Entrepreneur on Amazon.
Excellent. Thank you for that. We'll make sure we have all of that sort of good stuff in the notes. Last question as we wrap up our signature question, which I'm very excited to ask you. If we could peek into your closet, or maybe it's the store, right? At True Fashionistas down there in Naples, is there a signature footwear that personifies who you, Jennifer Johnson, are? And why is that footwear, sandals, heels, stilettos, whatever it is, you?
That is so funny. I love that. I thought you were going to go with what's your signature color? And I was going to be like, oh, okay. So signature footwear, tennis shoes. The reason why I am like zippity doo dah. I don't drink caffeine. I don't eat sugar. And God bless the people if I did, because I have so much energy pouring out of me every single day. If I were to wear heels or a dress shoe, I couldn't do it. I can't move fast enough. I am literally zip, 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 zip. So definitely a good pair of tennis shoes.
Excellent. I've asked almost 300 entrepreneurs that question, and it's never really the same answer. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah,
It's our signature at
I love it. That's a great
Business
question.
Stories. All right. So, with that, this is a wrap. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being on our show. And we wish you continued success at True Fashionistas down there in Naples, bringing all
Thank
those
you.
luxury resale items to make it accessible to everyone.
Thank you so much.